All right, Vasudha. So are we broadcasting now?
Yes.
And we will share the recording as well. But normally we have had Sumit as the host, and we are missing his deep voice today. If Sumit was there, he would say, "All right, folks, this is a podcast number 9 of India Away Day 2019. We are live streaming this, and we'll share the recording. And on your right, which is on my left side, you'll see the menu where you can see all the previous recordings. With that, let's get rolling. Over to you, Vasudha.
Oh, thanks, Ankur. Okay, so on call today with us, we have Ankur and Kriti, as usual. But we also have Sapto and Sasi, who are joining us from Bangalore and Chennai. So welcome to the both of you, our panelists.
Thank you.
So we're here to talk about away day. Do you want to tell us how many away days each of you have been to begin with?
Ah, I think I must have remembered at least 6 of them, and 2 outside India. So that's all I can recall from the top of my head. The
Wow.
last 2 ones I can recall a little more vividly than the previous ones. But I do remember my first one, which was obviously the most memorable. It was a very small affair, but it was awesome.
And Sasi, what about you?
Yeah, I was just trying to count. I think I only missed the first 2. So I must have attended about 7.
Wow.
All of them in India. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a lot of cumulative away day experience for us to draw from today, right?
Sure.
All right. So what would you say out of all these away days that you've been to, what would you say was the highlight? Which year or what event would you say was the highlight of your away day experience?
Who's this question for? Sapto or me?
Either of you.
Oh, okay.
Raise a hand. Like your best away day experience or your craziest away day experience, if you want to talk about it.
For me, every away day has been, very good experiences. The one that I can think of is the last one that we had in Hyderabad. Was very good. We had a good set of speakers. But one moment that I won't say it is memorable because it is a very happy occasion, but I cannot forget is because we all turned up late to the first session that was supposed to start, which was and it wasn't a pleasant experience. The guest.
Brought that up, Sasi. So what would you say to people who think it's okay to go easy on time this time?
Say that again.
I said, what would you say to people who think it's okay to go easy with the schedule?
Well, I would say it's okay to go easy when it is all the fun-filled events, which we seem to be always on time. But I would say that, let's be a little bit more respectful of the time that the speakers and the presenters have put in. So I would say plan accordingly and, be prepared to see which ones you want to attend and make sure that you don't miss out the good ones that you want to attend or the ones that you think you really, really wanted to be part of. And all the common sessions, there is a lot that we can, take away from that. Again, lots of efforts have gone in from the speakers, the organizers. So I would say, let's be conscious of that.
Great. So you hear her, guys. Time, please. And so, Sapto, what would you like to add with regard to your away day experiences?
For me, I do remember, similar to Sashi, the lambasting that Trevor gave us when we were late for the main event. So that still is something which I'll never forget because you've never seen Trevor and Roy get angry. But anyway, for me, the last away day, one of the most memorable things was obviously the DJ night, which went till 2 in the night, and then after that, a huge group of people sitting down to play Mafia, and that was at 2 in the night. And we were like, okay, where did these guys get the energy from? But anyway, even I joined, so I guess I had the energy as well.
Great. And Ankur and Kriti, would you like to jump in to add anything about this away day? What people expect?
So this away day, I think we can talk about it. But I think I have a question for Sapto is, for Sapto is, how are India away days different from the other away days that you've attended so far? What are the differences that you see?
For me, the biggest difference has been, and I was actually talking with Shweta, like who's from the UK, and she's experienced India days. She's also experienced the UK days, and I have experienced both the North American and the UK ones. For us, it's the really the culturals, the masti, the dance, which completely is it's missing from the other days. And a lot of people globally want to actually come to India for the away day to actually see that vibrant atmosphere, the spirit, and people just like having a blast. Well, at the same time, like obviously attending all the sessions, doing the breakout sessions, going to the experience ones. So it's like it's a 24/7 experience, and that is not something you get in any other way.
Hmm.
Right, and it's going to be more than 1,700 people this time.
Yeah.
As away day veterans, Sapto, Sasi, what tips would you share, given that more than 55% of our attendees are going to away day for the first time? So what would you say they should do to network with some of the bright minds and ThoughtWorks?
So for me, would be like just figure out a way of like starting a conversation with someone you haven't met. Like look out for people from other offices. If you seeing that there are some people who are actually walking around lost, go and have a conversation. Try to bring them in. The second other thing would be like hydrate yourself, and with water preferably, not with a lot of alcohol. And it's very important because if you want to stay up and awake for 24 hours, yeah, you need liquids, you need solids.
Water.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully we're going
Yeah,
to get some really good food. Sorry, Sasi, I cut you off, please.
no worries. I was just going to add to what Sapto said. Look for people that you would have heard, you would have chatted or, communicated via email. One thing that I learned in the first away day, some of the tenured thought workers who had attended multiple away days by then told me was, don't try to hang out with the friends or the buddies from the same office, because you get to spend time with them all the time. So look for people who you wanted to communicate or contact, interact with from other offices, go and hang out with them. But I like what Sapto said as well, if you see somebody who are like alone and, left wondering what to do, etc., go pick up a conversation with them. You never know what you will find about them. Those have been like really interesting interactions I've had. A couple of them that I can remember. Yeah.
Any particular you want to share with us?
So a couple of times when I have heard of people's names, right, but I wouldn't have made an intentional plan to go meet them, anything like that. But I would have heard about them. So sometimes in the hallway, I would have run into them at the way day. This has happened more than 1 or 2 times for me. Then it'd be like, oh yeah, I really wanted to talk to you. And then I would pick up a conversation, and I've learned so much about them in that, which I would have never, even if I planned to go to their office and interact with them, I would have never. Some of them, I have become very good friends with them after that, and I've kept in touch with them. And a couple of roomies I want to call out as well. And, we do the roommates randomly.
Mhm.
And I have had roommates who have never interacted with in the earlier, so those are like the wonderful times I have had.
Wait, so
somebody
what
who don't know about you.
not the first
Sorry?
This is not the first time that we're having room sharing?
Oh, definitely not.
Great.
We have always had room sharing, and every year we have gone planning for the away day. The number has only increased. So as you can imagine, it's a nightmare for the admins, but I have to also give it a wow and a kudos to our admin teams. I don't know how they manage. They do a brilliant job of finding accommodation for everybody, making sure the logistics is taken care of. So it is very little that we can do when we have to share the room. Again, that is much more fun. How much time are we going to spend in the room? We're going to get ready. In between the events, we're going to go change. And hardly we get to go to the room to sleep. I have spent like maybe 3-4 hours in the room, going there to sleep. Otherwise, we hang out in friends' rooms, mostly around all the common places where we are playing the mafia, like Sapta said, or we'll be hanging around the pool where the drinks is, etc. So I think there is not a need for fuss about, who my roommate is, how many people I'm going to share it with. It's about the fun that we're going to have, and look forward to making the best use of the time that we'll have together with all the roommates and the entire gang. 1,700 plus people. Imagine the fun we can have.
Right. So yeah, so we hear from Sapto and Sasi that There's a lot to look forward to at an away day. But Kriti and Ankur, tell us, what can we expect apart from the serious conferences and talks?
Yeah, one thing, I think there's the stuff happening in the main stage in the plenary, right? And that's good agenda, a lot of speakers, a lot of things that we all can learn from and get inspired by. But in addition to, as both Shashi and Sapto have pointed out, it's an excellent opportunity for all of us to connect with each other, right? We've become a big family and we're getting bigger. So we have planned a bunch of things, and let me, in Sumit style, share a visual. So here are some of the things, and you all can have a look at it. This is also on the Away Day website. So these are the things that, and these are some of the things. These are not everything. So there's a headshot booth, and the idea here is that you can sit there, and there'll be a cameraman who can take your pictures, and those pictures actually give you a background as if you're sitting in a ThoughtWorks office, right, with stickies and
Wow.
sharpies and all that stuff, and you can use those headshots for later use, right? A lot of thought workers don't have good headshots. So we thought, why not leverage
You'll
this
be able
opportunity?
to, yeah, you'll be able to get these pictures right away. So there'll be this crew member, our event management company's member sitting right next to the booth. And then if you give them your email address, they will mail you the picture in some time, of course. But yeah, you'll get it.
Yep.
So not only will I get to have my picture taken by a professional photographer, but I'll also have it delivered to my inbox.
Yes.
And then you can start putting those pictures on your ThoughtWorks profiles if you're okay with that, right? Many people don't do it today. And then there'll be a selfie and slow-mo booth, which is a fun way to take pictures. And there are a bunch of stalls. Like always, this time again, we have 5 stalls, the cultivation, which is so relevant from a scaling standpoint, the financial services practice. They have a stall. They'll have some interesting game going on at their stall. AR, VR, you're going to experience it in a very different way. If you haven't seen it already, there's an email that has already come out. There's also a game that a bunch of our coders have developed, and it's going to be good fun. But they'll also have a stall where they talk about various technologies. The Engineering for Research has a showcase. They're doing some really interesting stuff out of Pune and other locations. And then the data science team, they also have a stall, and they also are going to do something very, very interesting. So a lot of interesting things that are happening outside the main hall, and we would encourage all of you to go and meet these people, interact with them, get to know them as people, and also get to know about the technologies that we are working on these
Yeah,
days.
if I'm not wrong, Ankur, the AR/VR stall is also going to have some of the most current devices for us to try. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So the Oculus, the HoloLens. What else do we have?
Yeah, we have a bunch of almost, I think, 8 or 10 devices that they're bringing all the way to the way so that we all can try and experience them.
Don't break anything, folks.
And don't take it away with you. just,
Yeah, please don't
just,
forget to return
just
what we
return
tried.
it. Yeah, but I think the idea is behind all of these stalls, the stall leads have been working really hard to set up the design for the booth, what they want, they do not want. Bizcraft has been working very hard with them to set this up. So I think this is going to be one of the key parts of the away day where people will get to see what different things we are doing. This is going to be interesting, yes.
Awesome. And on another note, I hear we have a code of conduct to follow.
Yeah, it's a good code. It's a code you should live by.
Could you tell us a little more, Sapto?
Yeah, it's more about like being cognizant of the fact that it's a pretty big group out there, and what you may find as fun may not be fun for someone else. So to be aware of those differences and uh, almost to make it like an inclusive place where everybody can come together and have a good time. I spoke about hydrating yourself properly, so that also means drinking responsibly, ensuring that you don't go bored with that. Uh, Sashi spoke about like coming on time for the sessions, and especially for the main hall sessions. Yeah, everybody's you'll be the cynosure of all eyes if you're late. So try to avoid that because it's not a pretty feeling seeing 1,700 people look at you as you're walking in late. So those would be the simple code of conducts that I would put it.
And also remember, guys, if you're walking late to session 1, that means the party will begin much later than you planned. So if you want the party to start on time, come to the session on time. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so what else? What else should one expect at an away day?
I think one thing that I was trying to mention earlier when Ankur was trying to talk about the stalls and everything. So we've been talking a lot about what will happen at the away day. We've kind of disclosed a lot of details, but that doesn't mean that there are no surprises. I'm almost tired of keeping secrets now. I think I have stomach aches of other things that I want to tell people and show them how interesting they are. So there are a lot of surprises that you can look up for when you get there. So yeah, I think that's my point.
While you're talking about surprises, there's something which I noticed, which was a surprise for me.
What's that,
Yeah.
Sapto?
Okay, so let me just so why is this picture or this photograph of कानून के हाथ बहुत लंबे होते हैं hanging around with hotels?
What?
Which one?
Shall I show you? Okay, let me just, okay. So when you go and click on hotels over here, it launches this picture.
You
So I was
found
wondering, is there a hidden meaning out there in terms of accommodation and the fact that you may have to go and search for your own accommodation when you land up there?
So that is not going to be the case. Steve, in fact, set up these pages. So I don't know if he had some kind of hidden joke behind this. We'll have to catch him in Namibia to answer that question.
Yeah, some of these are fun things that we have put up as the website is evolving, and we are putting more and more information on a daily basis.
Yeah, still work in progress.
Yeah.
But you should have said Easter egg, then people would have gone on an Easter egg hunt.
There's no hidden thing behind it, Sapto.
Since we are talking about hotels, maybe the folks who haven't yet submitted their IDs will have to go on a treasure hunt of sorts. If we don't get those IDs by this evening. I've already seen Mohan sir pull his hair out, so let's please be nice to him and give him what he needs.
Yeah, and
and
just
not delay everybody in your queue, because you will have to you'll take more time than others. Your room will get delayed, and then again everything trickles down. There'll be crowding, so let's hope we make it in a nice way.
Yeah. On that one, one question that we're getting quite a bit in the last few days is people still coming in asking us to change their rooms, all those things, and we are being inflexible, honestly, about that, and there's a reason behind it. The numbers are large, as you already pointed out, was the 1,700 plus people. Originally, we started off with 5 hotels. Now we have 7 hotels. And almost all the hotels are full capacity. All the flights, in fact, many of you will see that the entire flight will feel and sound like a ThoughtWorks flight, right? So, and all that information is locked and shared with the hotels and airlines. So now we cannot go back and change things, and that's the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been trying to address most of these concerns till Friday. But now we've spent too much time trying to allocate people rooms and then move them around and then share that list with our event management company and hotels. And they have to do further steps on it, and more delays in that will cause ripple effect on everything. So please bear with us. We know that it's not the most comfortable thing, but we are trying our best to keep it as comfortable as possible for you. And trust us that we are doing it, please.
Okay, you hear that plea, folks.
Yeah, and we have really tried. I think I was telling somebody that if only we could get more rooms in Hyatt, if only we could get more rooms in the Radisson, we almost begged them to give us more rooms. There are no rooms available.
Yeah, I was telling someone I haven't worked this hard on my own wedding, so that should say something.
While we're talking about this, I do want to appreciate one thing, which I saw was very, very, very good, nice gesture. The non-Hyatt residents, there has been a call out asking for, do you need a space to go and change before the party event on both days, which I thought was very, very thoughtful, very nice that, people are thinking about, there will be a discomfort about this. One thing that I have said to people if they are not in Hyatt is hey, there are people, all thought workers who are put up in Hyatt. Just find people who are there if you need to change, if you're not well. if you need to quickly take a call, because some of the PMs have said, you know what, I may have to get on a work call, etc. That is another interaction that you can have, you know, make use of who is staying there. Just go get connected with them and say, can I just park in your room for some time, take a nap, or, you know, hang out there. Nobody is going to say no. So just feel free to do that. That's something that I wanted to say, and really appreciate the effort that's gone into get some space, you know, for people who want to change as well.
And just to clarify, Kriti, Ankur, are we okay with folks sharing their rooms with other thought workers? What's
Yeah.
your take on that?
Yeah. So on that one, Vasudha and Shashi, what we will do is once we have the list of people who respond to the survey by end of day today, we are going to allocate rooms to the individual so that both the thought workers who are staying at Hayat know who are the people who are going to come into their room and request them to give their room to for changing, right? Because if we leave it open, it can be very chaotic, and even Hayat will not be comfortable with, you know, guests who are not staying there, walking around in the corridors. So that's the reason why we sent out the survey. Once the survey closes, we'll share that list with the people saying, okay, here are the 3 people who are going to go to this particular room to change in Hayat, right? So that it's just better coordinated.
Nice. Again, very well thought through.
Yeah, so but everybody, please make sure that if you need the room, you fill out the survey. Very good. One other point that I think Sasi raised around people having calls. I think there are a lot of rooms that are available in Hayat. We can also check which are the ones that we can get for people to go and take calls. We'll make sure that the reception's aware of it, the help desk is aware of it. Just go to the help desk and ask them for a room, and they'll give you a room if you want to attend a call. And there are anyways a lot of open spaces in Hayat where you can open and quiet spaces away from where we are holding our event, and you can go and take your calls from those open areas anywhere.
Yeah. So, Sapto and Sasi, have you heard of any questions from people that you think you could take this chance to ask Kriti and Ankur?
Sure, we'll make use of this opportunity. One question that people are asking, I myself have too. What about the dry day, the dry evening, right? Usually that is the most fun part of it. I know we have one night where we'll have the drinks and all that. So what other backfills or, you know, other ideas that you have put in place which will make it much more fun filled and people won't miss that alcohol is not served that day and it's a dry day?
2 things I think, Shashi, that we have done. First of all, I mean, 21st being a dry day was something which the government just decided, the state government, a few weeks back, a month back, right? So when we planned it out, it was people planning to have, drinks on both the days, but it is what it is. So there are 2 things that people can enjoy on the second day in the evenings. One is the culturals, the big thing, right? All the offices coming on the stage and creating all the noise. And this time, I mean, looking at the numbers, each office has like huge number of people coming on the stage and participating. So that will go on for a couple of hours. And after that, we have the showstopper Anushka Manchanda's performance. She's coming with a troupe all the way from Mumbai. So we hope that with these 2 things back to back, it should get people into the mood.
Yeah. But to addressing the numbers, I think each of the offices are having performances which scale up to about 25-30 people on stage. So I think that will just take the mood up anyway. Like I have not been in a, like we had to initially scout for people to just come on stage, come do the performance.
I know.
Now I think people are so excited. So
I know I'm supposed to be on this side of the panel, right? But I just can't hold this back. Like I've already seen like a lot of groups rehearsing,
already dancing, awesome,
and singing, and the music sounds so good when they're rehearsing. I can't wait for them to be on stage.
Yeah, you should ask Lakshmi about the practice that's going on weekends in the Mahadevpura office at Bangalore.
Oh wow! Awesome.
Hey, for the first timers, I would like to call it out that it's like a competitive stage there, right? Each office will be whistling, encouraging the participants. It's back to college days. That's what I would say. Back to college days, you can enjoy. And then the finale, everybody gets on the stage and starts dancing before the DJ floor opens up. All those are like things that I look forward to.
Awesome. So I don't know about anyone else. I'm definitely looking forward to this away day, and it's going to be my first as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't miss the chants of Kashi Kashi.
Yeah.
Kashi, that's the rhyme. And one more thing I wanted to say, folks, there is a lot of opportunities to dress up. You still have 2 days left or 3 days left before we fly out. Go do your shopping, take this opportunity. The best costume, please, people will be looking at your costume as well. Just come well dressed and enjoy.
Yeah, quick reminder, guys, the party has a 90s theme. So feel free to dress up like any celebrity from the 90s. Take
Yeah,
care.
but yeah, again, like it's not something that we're enforcing. If you're
man.
up for it, just do it. If you're not up for it, just dress as casual and as comfortable as you can. And then...
Yeah, now I know why Ankur is buying those Jitendra shoes.
One of the surprises.
See, surprise is gone.
Sapto, you put pressure on me now. I'll have to go and buy them.
Yeah. But we never heard from Sapto. What is Sapto's question to us?
Oh, I heard that you guys are giving away VR headsets from your own personal budgets in the breakout zones. Is that true?
I think we'll see Kuldeep running behind people. We might not be around.
Let's hope we all take our flight on the 18th and we're there when all of you get there. So then you can take those VR and AR headsets from both of them, not me.
Yeah.
All right. So I think is there anything else? Anything else you all want to bring up while people are still listening to us?
So there are some questions around logistics as to whether I'll get a cab from airport, whether I have to arrange the cab. So wait for those details. We are going to share those details really soon. And then you will know what coach will take you from your airport to hotel, and then hotel to airport, and hotel to hotel, and whatever combinations are there.
Gol gol ghumte reh jaoge.
Most offices have also started distributing goodies and luggage tags, so make sure you collect yours.
Yes, and collect the correct luggage tags.
Luggage tag. I think that's the most important. Don't just go pick an arbitrary color code. If you pick
Or your favorite color.
or your bags might go to some other rooms. Okay.
And sky is the color blue.
Yes, that is something that should be clarified. When we say sky, guys, we mean blue.
Yes.
Okay, so
All right.
thank you all for
Okay.
being on this episode. And have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, Vidita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.